there. We know Cloud9 has made their way, and they'll be going out to Singapore to compete for the Nanyang Championships, and that's going to be their toughest test. They're the only American representation that are going to be participating there. And, well, for Digital Chaos, they made it to the grand finals for the Moon Duck Elimination Tournament, but they did fall short there. So for right now, and if you didn't already get a look at the bracket previous, you can see in the semifinals right now, it's the top part where it's going to be Cloud9 versus Fire, and then after this series, it is going to be the best of 3 of Complexity going against Team Imagine. But we're talking about this draft here and now. Game 2. FireDota open up with Templar Assassin, and they follow it with the Winter Wyvern. This comes, of course, after Cloud9 were able to get their hands onto the Bounty Hunter here. Gotta remember, what was it? Yesterday, Fire had the luxury of being able to use the Lesh in both of their matches. Cloud9, not as comfortable just kind of handing anything over free. But because they did have first pick, FireDota were going to be the ones instead to ban out the Lesh, and they're going to be forced to hand over something like Bounty. It is interesting to see, though, Naga has been ignored up to this point. Both these teams really play a pretty respectable Naga, especially the side of Cloud9, I'd have to say. So it's interesting to see him not reach for it here. Just probably something that's not too necessary considering they have already committed for the Bounty Hunter. They're going to need someone to be a bit more selfless. So Dazzle's an option that's still out there, or, you know, insert any +1 necessary to counter what FireDota could be pulling out here. I mean, they've already made a commitment for the Templar Assassin. They get it on the Dire side. We know 747 does work on this hero. He just did it in the previous series against High Council, Wizards, and Priests. And, you know, we know Brian to be a very selfless kind of support who's going to bounce around and build up those stacks. So this TA will be able to be farmed and be a problem in the mid game if allowed to just kind of do as she pleases. But she's already anticipating there's going to be a bit of a skirmish at the start, if not some sort of aggression from this Bounty Hunter. So she'll need that bit of assistance or someone nearby just to kind of be at her aid, or at least share a sentry, for God's sakes. Second phase of bans coming out right now, and they're going to rid of the AM here on the side of Cloud9. Kind of, you know, a bit interesting considering the Storm Spirit had already been banned out. So normally your first inkling is, oh, they banned AM. They're probably looking to pick the Storm up for themselves, but that's not going to be the case. Makes me wonder what other big mana pool hero is still out there. Lina is still out there. I'd be surprised if Cloud9 just kind of continue to, you know, push ahead without even acknowledging it. I think the Lina versus TA matchup isn't the worst thing ever in the mid lane. She has the range to work with and high nuking power. Being able to break through a refraction can be a bit suspect. You don't want to be kind of, you know, dishing out a casual Laguna and really not being very effective. FireDota, though, make their commitment to the Ember Spirit here, third. Jayo's pick, I imagine. And taking away another prize grab that Ritsu usually will go for. So no Slark, no Spectre, no AM, and now no Ember. Leaves few options out there. PL, maybe one of the last remaining late game farming kind of options that Ritsu has gone for before. But if they don't go for here and now, there's possibly not going to be much left. Fire have put a lot on targeting out the core potential from Cloud9. You see they haven't banned anything close to supports. They don't really care about that. So Cloud9, do they put more value in securing the Ritsu hero here and now, or do they just kind of step off and wait a bit? They've already made the commitment for their Darkseer here, which we've seen MSS time and time again just kind of take over the lane. If they put this Darkseer in a 1v2, he has no problem asserting extra aggression, creep cutting, and building in a quick mechanism, and that's something that's creeped on many of Cloud9's opponents. And they do decide to go for the Dazzle, so it's something they said that, you know, they need to get something very selfless and more defensive to kind of counteract the secondary support of the Bounty Hunter, and it's going to be the Dazzle. And look at this, it's the Moo Dota Classic. The Slardar is going to be coming out. We saw this yesterday in their series. It was very, very interesting, and it was something that Complexity have even tried to run in their own run, or in their own draft, you know. Slardar with a Force Staff typically, not the blinking Slardar, you know, but they did run this in a dual lane matchup yesterday with Ogre, and it was pretty damn disgusting. And it may be something they could go for again here and now. Maybe looking to further punish Ritsu and not allow him to have a very safe start and build up a lot of farm. You know, they could get something like the Ogre, like a Spirit Breaker, and just try to maybe get in the face of whatever the safe lane core might be. But they are committing to a lot of close range combat here. Ember, Slardar, TA doesn't have really a lot of range, so they're kind of going all in with this close quarter combat. maybe you can make the exception that Ember could be pretty elusive and just kind of slide a fist from the outside, but overall, it seems pretty intense. Cloud9 need to diffuse the situation a bit. The benefit that Cloud9 have going for him, already committing and getting a hold of this Dazzle, is that he's very good in being able to counteract that pesky Slardar amplified damage. Having that weave is going to be very, very nice. And look at the follow-up here. A Luna going to be coming up from Cloud9. Some has dubbed kind of the poor man's gyrocopter when it was first brought out at TI5. Hal was the first player that just was like, okay, we're pulling out the Luna and we're going to make it work. And players like Arteezy just kind of acknowledged that, was impressed enough to even pull it out themselves, and that hero began to like chain pick thereafter. But here is Cloud9 picking it. I don't know how much of an advantage for nighttime vision is going to really have here, but another very farm-intensive kind of a hero, but not something we've seen Ritsu play a whole lot of here. I actually have Cloud9's recent games brought up, and yeah, AM here, Ember there, a couple of Slarks, and okay, he did actually play a Luna 2 days ago in their matchup against Root Gaming. We can actually look further into that. It was a win for them, and it was quite impressive. Actually, very inactive game for him. Only ended up being 2-1-5, and at that point, only finishing out at SMY, Helm of the Dominator, and BKB. But very impressive farm for how short the game ended up being. Final bans to come out here. FireDota, they rid of the Queen of Pain. They're still anticipating Cloud9 need to commit in for what will be their Brax hero in the mid lane. Quap was one of the prominent remaining options. Still to note, Lena has been totally ignored. And look at that. Cloud9 have been doing their research, caught yesterday's action, and they're banning out the Ogre here. Now, if FireDota did want to still commit to any sort of aggressive dual offlane setup, they could still get something like that Spirit Breaker I mentioned before, or any sort of like tanky, you know, maybe a Jakiro, some sort of tanky +1 to go with this Slardar. And they add in the extra disable, that would certainly help. So I'm curious to see what Fire could decide to sub in instead of this Ogre. But it does show that Cloud9 at least respected enough that they don't want Ritsu to have too much trouble in the early laning phase. For Fire, though, we look to them and what could potentially be either the Whitebeard hero, I imagine, considering Fluff will typically play their Wyvern. This is going to be the Whitebeard +1. We know Whitebeard to play techies. This isn't the techies time, though, without Tusk being grabbed. It is going to be the Spirit Breaker. All right, chalk up one to myself. All right. So Spirit Breaker, you know, might have almost been considered a better option by many over the Ogre, and something that could have just been passed over by Cloud9. But you still kind of get that very, very intense offlane setup. Charge in, bash to follow, easy Slardar starting setup. And what do they have to help out this Luna? The Dazzle for sure. But outside of that, not going to be too much, considering this bounty hunter is going to want to, you know, make moves probably towards that mid lane. Yes, get stuck on bottom lane duty if their Luna runs into trouble. Now look at this final pickup though from Cloud9. They're going to go for the Brax Beastmaster in the mid lane. A little bit of that C9 Fata love right there. Being able to utilize the boars to get that extra bit of CS power. And just overall, I guess he just feels confident going against Templar Assassin in the mid lane. That's going to be very interesting. I don't really see that matchup too often. I hope he doesn't get hit too much from like side blades off of his own boars onto himself. That would be a bit clowny, but Beastmaster just offers even more to the synergy and composition that their team has on Cloud9. You get even more scouting potential with the birds, and now Bounty Hunter also out there. Instant mobility. Luna late game pulls out Boots of Travel. Beastmaster has some sort of aid to get her into the fight quickly. All right, and if he's going to go on with the push, it could be the Necro Book decision, that Zookeeper Beastmaster buildup. Let me go ahead and throw on my frickin'... There we go. Oh, wouldn't you know it, we got to be starting with a pause, of course. This is okay. It gives me a moment to get all my configurations underway. Wonderful, wonderful. There we go. CS has popped up, and we're going to be in it. And it does look like a bathroom call out. I mean, C9 had been waiting in this lobby for like an hour now, and now they need to use the bathroom? I mean, come on, guys. Garbo Melons. What a wonderful name. Good old Ritsu. And let the all chat begin. So we'll have a bit of a pause right here to lead things in, but I hope everyone's enjoying their day so far. It's a lot of games. We went from a bit of a dry spell after TI to all of a sudden a serious wealth of Dota. You're talking MLG, that elimination mode just finished. We had the Nanyang, then BTS Americas. I know there's the defense. Did I already say MLG? Yeah, but you know, ESL 1 qualifiers. So these players were hit up with a lot of games at once. So I'm, you know, obviously I don't know who's in charge of their scheduling and who sets everything up, but I imagine it's one hell of a job because you want to be participating as many events as possible so you can, well, make as much money as possible and get your team out there as much as possible for consideration on stuff like bigger events and majors. But sometimes you can't always anticipate how well you're going to do, and when you have to keep scheduling your next match when you make it to the next round and then the next round, and by the time you're in nearly the final round, you realize that that conflicts with your, you know, quarterfinal run in this other tournament. And that's when things get sticky, and you got to really make sure you're on board with scheduling your next. I mean, they have up to, you know, the 24 hours or so ahead of time to make sure everything's plotted out accordingly. And, you know, it's on them to make those kind of decisions. I'm just here ready to cast, and it looks like we're going to have a game. And shout out to the Good Weeb casting studio. It's Trouf and Grant, who were in here. They came into the lobby. I saw them briefly and just kind of hinted at them like, I don't know if you guys have a delay or not. I really hope you do if you're in here. I went to restart my Dota, and they were gone. So I assume the admin made a decision that they are technically not one of the setup casters for BTS Americas, but I'm sure they're casting regardless through Dota TV. And you guys are welcome to go check it out if you want. But here we go, underway. No early aggression coming out from either side. MSS on his Darkseer will be hanging out, scouting the top. I mean, sure, if he can sneak in there and get something, that'd be nice, but without a early level in the Surge, he's just here to kind of identify and give that intel as far as who's going to what lane from the side of Fire and what they should be anticipating. It's going to be an equal rune trade from both sides. Brax is going to be able to grab up the bottom bounty with 747 grabbing up the top one here. Fluff's got a sentry on hand. The MSS did not bother. Oh, no, he did. He went up here pretty early. But look at where he decided to place his... Oh, no, this is from the Fire side. Yeah, MSS did not bother with a ward at all in his Darkseer off lane. This is just an early FireDota ward to scout out and see if MSS was kind of rotating on through or not. Or I could have missed it altogether. There's always that option while I was talking about Grant and Trouf. But here comes Whitebeard to this bottom lane. This is the one we were kind of, you know, getting a bit excited about. The dual lane Fire matchup worked for him great yesterday, but already Bounty Hunter shows himself on the bottom, not in the mid lane. They see that Moo's alone, and they're going to get as much damage as possible, and they really bring him down an octave. Look at that. He's going to be forced to chew through some seriously early tangos. And Whitebeard was just a little late to get to the lane, but he's here now. But that one big aggressive push was enough to secure Ritsu, you know, what, 1 to 2 waves early on. But this is pushing pretty hard. That's 2 range creeps. This is going to get right under the tower for Team Fire. So already you can see SVG goes back and is going to have to kind of work the pull. Sucks when you're a bounty hunter and you kind of have to go on pull duty and can't really go around to the other lanes and be a nuisance, but they do need to kind of do this so that their bottom lane doesn't run into too much trouble and give too much to Team Fire. So this will equal things out a bit. It does give Moo and Whitebeard a little bit of free XP that they're only sharing between the two of them. But let's touch base now with back at mid lane. 747, 5-3 CS to Brax's 5-4. They're neck and neck. So it's a good equal trade. Brax, though, already had to chew through one of his tangos. He's on cooldown for the second. You can see those side blades continue to poke at him. While 747 has yet to chew through any sort of regen, is emphasizing the extra aggression with that early Wraithband pickup. Getting close to the bottle, though. It looks like Brax has already got his. It's en route right behind him now. So he'll be able to pick it up, and 747 is going to have to double back. But look who's coming in. This is a bit of that like Sonico play. Unless Fluff is trying to go all the way and get a hold of this courier, he's going to be too late. I mean, Arctic Burn does add a bit of range, but you'd have to be pretty close to at least get those 2 attacks in. He's going to miss that opportunity. We'll see if he ends up turning it back and around into an aggression on the mid lane. It looks like it will be, because look who's charging in already. SVG does ping it out. Can Brax get the notification in time? He's walking back now and trying to get away from Fluff, and that's all the extra space he needed. He will put himself in a very good spot. Had he ran straight back, it would have been closer to Fluff, and things could have gotten a bit awkward, but he chooses the right path to go more south and away from the Dragon. And, of course, it was very convenient that SVG was around and scouted out the charge. Gave him that little bit of a notice. But SVG is now back at this bottom lane, and Fire didn't prepare for this bounty hunter to be hanging around bottom lane so much. They don't have a sentry for him. They could be picking up one here soon, but they won't know when he's here or when he's not. And it looks like they're just kind of changing things up. And because they're putting a lot more emphasis on the bottom, Whitebeard is kind of rotating around, seeing if he can take advantage of that in the other two lanes. At least for now, hanging around mid. We didn't get to see much about top lane here, but you know, as I praised in the draft, MSS and his Darkseer, 16-1 for him right now. Jo is matching up, but this is an off-lane Darkseer who typically, you know, is used to running into lanes where he's zoned back and forced to use Surge just to get away from trouble, which, you know, might be coming here and now. But up to this point, he'd been finding a lot of sweet farm. He's almost level 5 at about 4 minutes in. But here comes Whitebeard. Can they get this Darkseer down? He's got Surge up. He puts the Ion Shell on himself, and MSS just can recognize when it's a good time to turn and fight. Hits Whitebeard once, and that's all about the aggression. They're just not going to even continue any further, and MSS will continue to get a lot in this offlane setup. I mean, you compare that over to someone like Moo, who is still level 2. Moo is level 2. He's only got 2 CS. This is a huge difference right now. Cloud9 are definitely getting the better of it, but possibly bottom lane, the aggression could come. SVG has picked up a haste rune here, and they're going to dish out the poison now onto Moo, plus the Orb of Venom. Now he's just going to pop off his sprint and be able to walk away after the stun, but this continues to kind of keep him in check and away from the creeps. It's going to be a pretty rough start here for this Slardar, and they have to have Fluff now here to help him out. They just recognize where their lanes are a bit weak, and they rotate to adapt. Just have to see if the early aggression is just going to send shockwaves through the rest of the game or not. Look at MSS. Get back here, Whitebeard. He doesn't have... No, he does still have mana, of course, for the Surge. There's going to be the charge. And MSS will pull it out when feels necessary and makes it away from the trouble here. Mid lane, though, rotation in from SVG. They're making a go here, possibly on 747. No level 6 yet. Brax is still waiting for it. He needs it, but he can't quite get it. Moose shows up, gets the stun. The trap will slow them down. But nothing's going to be coming out of it. I don't know if Brax was just hoping that he was going to get level 6 by then, which he has it now. So Primal Roar is ready. And it looks like maybe we're thinking about a go on to Whitebeard here. He does not have much mana, but Fluff is close. But Fluff also does not have Cold Embrace. He's only level 2, and he put them both into the Arctic Burn and the Splinter Blast. So he will not be able to heal up anyone caught out. Denied. But it does feel like there for a bit that C9 were like, oh, I got Primal Roar, I would love to use it. But I think they recognize that this is not going to be a good time. And it looks like they just will step back. But 6-minute rune is going to be coming up. They're going to have a bit of a race for it here. Fluff will have to hand it over to Brax. SVG is going to be able to grab the one on bottom as well. So good double grab for Cloud9. Fluff goes into Arctic Burn and knows he can just fly up over the cliff to get away from the trouble here. They slow down Brax. Look at this. Jo, triple Remnant looking to go on in. Slide of Fish, chains, locks him down, turn back. He's going to have to get the roar off just to save his own life. Brax will bottle up and retreat. And Fire will commit nearly a 3-man rotation in exchange for that Primal Roar. So, depending on to them how much they find that as a value, knowing they don't have to worry about the threat of the Primal Roar within the next minute or so, I guess, is nice. But I'm sure they were kind of banking on being able to at least get the kill, if possible. Look at MSS. He's already got the Buckler after picking up the Soul Ring. So, indeed, he is just pushing in, trying to get a hold of this mech. And that could mean that Cloud9 could start coming together and pushing in for some of these early tier 1 towers. Let's look to Ritsu. 44 and 25 denies on his Luna. He is having a stellar game right now on the bottom. He's got all the space he could ask for between his 2 supports. Demon God on his Dazzle. Oh, pop top lane, though. They're making a go for MSS. Big Splinter Blast. He gets a lot of damage on the Whitebeard. And now they get their chains off, and he takes down the trade. He's still alive, and Oh, he almost put up a bit of a threat there to Jo. They are finally able to turn it around and take him down. But Whitebeard maybe went in for a re-engagement when it was not a good time. He does end up handing over his own life. MSS will get the XP for the kill onto Whitebeard. But the nice thing for Fire is that Jo will be able to take him down and will get that nod. But when you just compare the basic bit of farm here, Ritsu 52 CS to Jo's 32 on his Ember. I mean, you're looking at Ritsu having a near-perfect CS game. And now they're going to put some damage onto this tier 1. SVG waits behind the tower, scouts out Moo. Moo, level 3 at 8 minutes in. It's been a bit of a tough off lane, and it continues to get harder here. Does step back for a stun, but the Eclipse is out, and Ritsu gets the easy kill. 2-1 now for Cloud9. And with that, they're just going to continue to press on. This looks to be an easy tier 1 tower for them.
Dark light!
But we hear the charge go out, and its target is going to be onto Ritsu here. Fluff looking to sweep in. But they seem to be a bit out of catch. Not until Jo shows up, we'll get the chains connection. Ritsu needs help. Teeman moves in. We'll have the Grave. And now looks to step back, but now Teeman has no mana to get away himself. Now he does. Look like he might have just got some there at the end and will be able to make it away. So it's going to be a Ritsu for a 7-4-7 takedown in the mid lane. It looked like MSS made the rotation to the mid lane and got the kill on the TA with the assistance of Brax also committing his Primal Roar. So it's a couple of cores exchanged here. I'm sure Fire are just happy to take down this Luna, but it would have been much nicer if they could have got it away without losing anyone. Look at this, though. Whitebeard gets vision on Brax. If they look at him, they know he's got very little mana. They already know he has no Primal Roar, so defenses are not really online, but will anyone rotate to the tier 1 and save him? Maybe just a bit too sketchy for Fire, so they don't want to commit. But they have built up some stacks, it looks like here. Susie is going to be able to farm that one up here. She wants to push on and try to get a hold of that Desolator. They're Dire's side. They have Roche potential, but they have to be able to get to that point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
MSS has his mech now complete. 9-minute, 47-second mech on your Darkseer. Very strong start. This could be a bit dramatic here for Fire. In the next fight, they unleash all they got. Can't even break through the heel of the mech. Fire needs to get some extra XP on their supports. Fluff will take Rain in mid lane a bit. He gets to level 5, but they want to get that curse. And now look at this. Ritsu at the top. Starts going in for this tier 1. Jo is waiting on the side, but he is all alone at this point. He'll confidently show himself here, but there's no backup as of yet. And if C9 do recognize that, they could look to pounce. But here comes Spirit Breaker. They're going to see it now. Brax spots it out, and now goes on a chase for him. He's got a haste rune here, and it looks like it's just enough to zone him back from trouble. They are in it to get this top lane, but no, bottom. They made a commit to go into T-Bin. He gets the Grave up on himself, and he gets the heal. Now MSS on chase is going to run right to the stun, and Moo is going to be able to slither away. That means they can kind of go all in on this top lane. They're going to get the tier 1. Cloud9 will secure a bigger purse, and look at this already, up 3K at 11 minutes in. It's more pressure on Fire to kind of step their game up. Look at that. You can see Brax is going to be going in for that Necro Book. They're happy to just kind of continue the siege move, which really, who can fault him on it? You got Luna with the Glaives, Beastmaster with the summons, and now Necro Book to come. Dazzle with huge sustain, and of course his heal, which works better in groups. They have the lineup to push for these objectives sooner than later, and they're just on the path of doing so. While we look over Fire, and they just seem pretty poor. Oh, MSS trying to go for that 12-minute rune. Instead, we'll have to pop the Surge to run. The charge is out, but it'll be promptly canceled after, as both Luna and Beastmaster are in the area. And SVG, who is on intel, scouting patrol right now, will be able to cross paths with Jo here. So they'll see him. He'll mess with him a bit while the rest of his team, they're looking to clean up more tier 1s. They're coming in mid. This is bad for Fire. They wanted to maintain these kind of access points so that if they did decide to move in and get Roche done,
Dire's middle tower.
They would have these tier 1s up and ready, but they will not. They're going down, and Fire can't really do anything about it.
Are fortified.
They'll pull the creeps away from the tower, but there's plenty of sustain, and they'll get the tier 1, be able to etch away. Jo begins a little bit of that split pressure here, but we know with an Ember, you got quite the build-up before you're going to really be a problem in this game, and he's got quite a way to go. And we look over to Luna, and she gets that first mask here. Looks like a Helm of the Dominator is in order for her. Ooh, what's happening here? SVG's got a sentry in hand, and he is looking to probably block out this camp. There it is. We'll drop it down now, and that will hurt. It will take Fire to go over there and recognize that the camp is blocked before they can even then get the sentry. Which looks like Fluff does have one on hand now. Ooh. Eyeball and MSS here on the bottom. But as you can see, the comparison of Moo's game yesterday and today is just very different. By now, you know, he was able to kind of finish out this Force Staff and have that bit of mobility, but obviously it's been a very different game this time. He'll be waiting out. But look at this. Dazzle now caught up with Jo. Jo, happy to right-click him down. Demon has 2 stick charges here. Might need to burn it. And will to bring out the Grave. He has roped-de-doped Jo long enough to delay and allow Brax and MSS to get there in time. And they actually get the kill on the Jo. Wonderfully done from T-Bin. He's able to just kind of dance around, keep him occupied, and then pulls out the Grave right there at the end. And it's just enough time for them to get that grab. Whitebeard charge out, looking for Luna mid lane. Fluff sweeping in, got his level 6, might need to use it here, and will have to. SVG is there, but can't really offer any sort of assistance. Can they bring down Ritsu? He's still on the run, they get him there. The last auto attack will come out from 747, and they will finally get that Luna grab. All the meanwhile, though, Brax continues to pressure the top. He actually gets the tier 2 down to half of its life before Jado is able to make it back. So a confident grab from Fire to take down Little Ritsu, but they still do lose a lot across the map committing for that. But as you can see, both hammers now done here for your TA. So Desolator is coming very soon, and they will have the damage. But they also will need the the Slardar to finish out this Force Staff, which you can see he has the staff right now.
Wave.
Uh-oh, little demon, you got to be careful here. There's a charge coming out, and you got to be ready. He does have a Grave. SVG's nearby, but will he be able to withstand the Whitebeard? Oh, Whitebeard cancels. Oh, he will eat a track on his way back. Looks like Fluff was able to drop a sentry up and above, which scouts that SVG sentry there in the pit. But look at Jo. It gets caught out top lane between these two again. MSS and Brax beautifully set up. Now utilizing the Necro Book. Simple roar, wall vacuum. And the Ember is down. Now they make their committed move. They want to get the Dazzle. Demon's in trouble. Able to get the Grave off in time. Has a TP, but there is no chance he's TPing anywhere as the charge comes thereafter, and he just has no time to escape. He will go down, and now the push starts coming in here from the top. Brax will be first to pull out. MSS still needs 4 seconds for the surge, but he wants to stay and finish out this tier 2. Fluff will be there with a Splinter Blast to help, but the rest of his team have already made the move to go into the pit here. Brax has a Hawk en route, and it's going to be too late. They will not see the Roche go down, and Fire will get that Aegis advantage. Easy bird kill. MSS, though, is like, oh, I'll get this tier 2 at least. Him and SVG will be able to take it down. 2239 gold for MSS. Whoa! So we'll see if he decides to go for the Blink Dagger. Desolator now done. And Jo only holding drums for now. He needs more time. As all Embers really do. When you're not really at that confident point, even right now, he can't comfortably find somewhere to farm. The last 2 times he went top, he got jumped from Brax and MSS.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And it feels like a quiet game for someone like SVG. And yeah, this isn't like your typical bounty hunter game where you're able to kind of do as you please in the mid lane and be a nuisance and bring in a wealth of track gold. He's 0 and 0-0, so he has not been doing anything. But that's fine. They definitely changed up their laning phase and kind of put Fire in a bit of a pickle, but oh, they get an easy catch on the move. SVG, I say 0-0-0, well now he gets the 1-knot right there. Forgetting the, oh, what a pullback from MSS. Beautiful double vacuum. Gets a hold of Whitebeard with a Lucent Beam and he'll walk right through the wall. And he does go down. More shurikens come out as SVG will claim a double. And that is track gold coming the way for Cloud9. A very confident stride. And now they're going to be going in for the tier 2. An easy pickup. And they continue pushing on. Necrobook's already out. They've committed so much. And with 2 still down, I certainly don't see why not. 747's here, but very little on the mana. Will pop the wand, but eating so much damage. A beautiful vacuum back. Will lock her in place. It forces out the Aegis, and now C9 look to turn and run. Or do they stop and eclipse? Big damage is going to annihilate Jo. Splinter Blast does work. Teeman still stays alive, but they finish off Ritsu. There's going to be the heal, but does go down there after the 747. Now Brax looking to swing and fight. Whitebeard shows up, charges in. Brax trying to get away. Bump back from Whitebeard. Beautiful Nether Strike. A double kill for 747. Dust is going to be possible. Now they look for SVG here. Can they get him? He's running through the trees. Trap will catch him. Whitebeard wants vision so he can charge, but he can't get it. Looks like the dust will wear off, and Fire will not be able to proceed with grabbing more, but the biggest turn of the game so far. Fire dig deep for that one. They commit on in, and it looked like C9 were going to have a good turnaround with the Eclipse coming out, but they had that beautiful Winter's Curse. And with that, you might see this net worth graph begin to dip a bit. The XP has already started. But that is getting Moo very close. They'll be able to finish out the 4 staff. Double kill for 747 means he's well on the way to picking up that Blink Dagger already. Deso, and also the 1,200 gold on top of it.
Never refuse gold given.
But Jo going down again means he continues to get put further and further off from being able to even move into the start of, like, your, what, typical Battle Fury? Oh, what's this? 747 sees Ritsu doing a very big stack. Oh, Theban just dropped a sentry. Look how close 747 is to walking into detection here and not even knowing it. Decides how he might go, drops the trap. Ritsu sees it because of the sentry, and there's going to be the Winter's Curse. They're going to get Ritsu down. And it looks like they will get him. Oh, no! He stays alive! Beautiful vacuum from MSS, pulls him back into the wall, and now Brax shows up with a huge Primal Roar. And Cloud9 just pull out the trap, and they are there. Ritsu does end up going down, but they get the biggest of it all, taking out all 3. Jo going down again. 747 goes down and hands over a bit of a bounty. MSS flexing off that new, beautiful Blink Dagger, just jumps right in and gets one hell of a combo. And just when Fire got a bigger and better trade on the bottom lane, Cloud9 just take the reins right back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Necrobook, level 3 full and complete here for Brax.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Moo on the other side, who finally has that 4 staff complete. It just doesn't feel like this Slardar is going to be able to do much this game. I mean, it goes without saying. 0, 2, and 4, and he's off timing for where he would like to be item-wise. It feels like any sort of easy target, which really, who becomes the easy target? I mean, yeah, if you're able to get a quick glimpse on this Bounty Hunter, which you think they would. They have Spirit Breaker and the amp damage from Slardar. Plenty of ways to get the vision, but SVG has done very nicely, just kind of remaining in the shadows and not being seen. Now top lane, who MSS blinks in. forces the quick withdrawal of Jo, and he'll have to take the trip back to base. But that's just one little Darkseer scaring back your Ember Spirit. What's Whitebeard doing? We're going to charge an MSS, then cancels it and gets himself stuck. Uh-oh. We'll have to wait for a charge to get out. Look at Bounty Hunter. Is he going for a Lotus Orb? Plate Mail? And Perseverance? Looks like it. Alright, for purging capabilities, definitely works nicely to get rid of that amp damage. And you do have a chance to reflect back a lot. Winter's Curse. Hell, even a charge would be funny. Its own amp damage. Uh-oh, they scouted out Fluff. That's an easy Primal Roar. Follow-up, Axes, he's gone. SVG grabs that one. And that will be more Trek Gold. Moo wants to add some pressure here at the mid lane along with these TA illusions, but the pressure's coming more so on the Fire base here at the top. They're looking to move in. Jo has very little mana, and they just start going to town. They don't have an Aegis or anything. They're just confident to move in there and get her done.
Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, just as quick, though. They do decide to pull back. Look at this. Even saving out their tier 1 tower. Not looking to hand anything over too easy to Fire. And it looks like they'll be able to quickly rid of these creeps and then deny the tower. Starving Fire from their golden farm.
Radiant's middle tower.
And there's that Lotus Orb now complete for little SVG. That track gold certainly coming into work for a little bounty hunter who was 0-0-0 for a while and now is already 4-0. Huge boost of income as he's been rewarded now with this little Lotus Orb.
Invisibility.
They head towards bottom where there is Moo. He's got to force TP to get away from trouble here. Looked like he moved in eyeballing an opportunity, but he'll quickly pull back after. But the game plan for C9 is to go back at this bottom lane and probably go for the tier 2. Don't see why not. I'm also curious what Brax is going to be looking to go for here. I mean, could be just a simple Blink Dagger. Makes it for very easy Primal Roar setup and gets your Necrobook and everything thereafter into the fight much easier. He's got it very soon. They might just designate him this farm so he can step back to the side shop and grab it right now. Or sell something for it. Yep, he sold the Stout Shield. He'll pick up the Blink Dagger now. Alright, now you got a scary blinking Beastmaster here. They know one of their biggest threats has got to be Fluff with this Wyvern. So it might be something they look to just quickly shut out. But that means the tier 2 will go down, and now Cloud9 will come in from the southern door of the Fire base. And seeing how much they can do some work, they instantly go in, and Ritsu starts chopping down this tier 3. Which we know from Luna, even with just Helm of the Dominator, Ayasha, she hits really hard. But just like we saw from the top, they see pressure coming in one of the other tier 1s. It looks like they'll just pull back and away. Ritsu will farm out this top lane, hand in hand with Theban. And the others will just pull back and around and continue to scout. And look, they fixed the Roche timer. Yeah! It's going to be up in just a couple of seconds. There it is. Roche is up. It's pinged out already, of course, from Fire. They have the trap inside the pit. But C9 are very close, and Brax is already going to be putting a bird in the area, so they see each other. Oh, nice little catch from Moo, even though the bird goes invis. He gets the quick stun and kill. So C9 are going to be waiting, though they still have this ward over on the side. They know something's fishy. Fire in the pit. Are they going to be able to stop him here? Roche is getting down inch by inch. This is scary, though, for Fire. You're talking big Darkseer Blinken combo, big Blinken setup from your Beastmaster. They better be damn sure they're ready to go in there and do it. For now, it looks like they'll at least leave the Remnant. But now it's C9 who go into the pit, and they'll start doing it. What are Fire going to do to stop it? They need Fluff to be here to fly over and set up a big Winter's Curse. But there's already a spread position here from Cloud9. They go over, and there it is. The Lotus Orb is going on thereafter, but it's not going to be in time, and they're going to get quick destruction of Jail. Here it goes, the Big Fury. Eclipse is going to get unleashed here, and quickly Moo goes down. All of Fire become extinguished under the huge power of C9, who are just happy to fight in close quarters. They went from the rafters and jumped into the pit with everything they had. And it is an immediate Fire team wipe.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And now come Cloud9. Charging down this mid lane. And Fire could just very well be already thinking about Game 3. Oh, wait. My mistake. There is no Game 3. There was a def win in Game 1 that Cloud9 already took, and it looks like they will just end out this series now 2-0. Oh, very unfortunate for Fire, who did just come off their win against High Council, Wizards and Priests and MLG. They come back to face C9, and C9, who had been waiting and very eager to play this match, finally get into Game 2, and they put on a pretty good stomping so far. Mid lane Rax is going to be going down, and Fire are in risk of losing a second set here. Just look at the Glaives go to work. Jayo's like, holy shit, I gotta go. Did not like that. Brax leads in, though, is going to get the catch on the Fluff. Force, though, is going to be saved. Comes from Moo. Vacuum onto 3. And Moo now, oh, forced to dish out the stun. Not going to be catching anyone, and it is just Cloud9 taking it as they please, happily ready to move back behind the lines and see if they can just get some extra kills here. But hey, look at this. Moo buys back. And Fire think they can put up a bit of defense. They are going to get the kill in the MSS, and whoa! Look at him go! 7-for-7, just utterly rocks and knocks out both Demon and SVG back-to-back there. What damage has been done? Fire now going to be down 2 sets of racks. And already with being quite a bit behind, they just don't have the horsepower to fend off these 2 lanes. I think they know that, and they're just looking to get who they can. They are going to get the jump onto Ritsu here. There's a lead in charge, but no catch from the stun of Moo. And he'll have to walk out. They trade around a bit, but if they just let this game go back to neutral, and it looks like it will, both Demon and MSS are back. Cloud9 have just gotten so much. You know how much freaking gold those Raxes give now? They continue to get buffed each patch. These supports are just loaded. Well, they do find Brax. Whitebeard bumps him back. Brax not even down to half-life. Will just dish out the Primal Roar. Reevaluates the situation. Gets the helpful Lotus Orb. Is able to sidestep. Moo there. Moo without being able to get off the stun. 4 staffs away. Fluff trying to fly away from this pesky Eclipse. Does somehow manage to make it away. What a player. Oh, no. Oh, he goes down to the axis at the end. Brax catches him on the Dragon Tail right before he's able to teleport away to safety. What a heartbreaker. Now look at this. Moo caught up on the high ground. Is going to go force down below. I'm sure that came after the vacuum. Jo comes in. He eats a lot of damage, and he gets the hell back. MSS blinks himself down. But look at this. Fire not looking to throw in the towel quite yet. They will continue to fight. I mean, 747 has the butterfly now. No MKB in sight here for Ritsu as he finishes out his Scotty, going more into the stats. All right. And Cloud9 recognize they're just 1 set of racks away from Megas and a certain 2-0 series.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But they will fight to the bitter end. Jo pushes out the mid lane, and now they come top. Age is still in hand here for Ritsu. A forced forward into the stun, but the Primal War comes after. Moo still holds on for now, but oh, the chops start coming out. And Ritsu gets the easy cleanup. Now the Rax is exposed, and look at the Glaives dance. Chopping and unmercifully crucifying everything across. Nothing left in its wake. Fluff moves in. A valiant Winter's Curse. Ritsu, though, doesn't even care. Shrugs it off. They turn back now, and that's going to be game. Fire eliminated from BTS Americas, and Cloud9 will be the first team to move into the grand finals. Besting Fire today, 2-0. Of course, game one being a def win, but they look like a team who do deserve to be in the grand finals just based on this game 2 performance, and we look forward to that. They are already secured, I believe, at least a second-place win, which is at least $3,000. So congratulations to them. Got to be happy they made some money. For Fire, though, their journey ends here. It's always great to see them perform. They continue to play. As we know, they've qualified for ESL 1 in New York, and their run on MLG looks like it will be continuing. So we send them the best. Congratulations again to C9. And, folks, we're not done yet. We still have another best-of-3 series today. Set to start in about 45 minutes from now is going to be Complexity versus Team Imagine. So that should be good.